This is a personalized summary of the Atomic Habits by James Clear. Changing habits is one of the most powerful ways to transform your life, and James Clear's Atomic Habits gives us the blueprint for doing just that. Imagine habits as the small, consistent actions that create ripples, shaping who we become over time. The big idea? Focus on tiny, manageable changes, what James Clear calls atomic habits, to build the momentum that leads to extraordinary results. This summary audiobook dives into the 4 laws of behavior change, powerful psychological insights, and actionable strategies to help you craft a life defined by growth, productivity, and fulfillment. Part 1. Why tiny changes create big results. Change doesn't happen overnight. It's the product of small, consistent actions, what James Clear calls atomic habits. In this summary, we'll explore why these tiny shifts are so powerful, how they compound over time, and how you can harness them to transform your life. The goal? To understand not just how to build habits, but how to build a new version of yourself. Why habits matter more than goals. Most people think success is about setting big, lofty goals, but goals only give you direction. They don't dictate the journey. What really matters is the system, your daily habits. James Clear argues that, instead of saying, "I want to lose 20 pounds, focus on the small habits that make it inevitable, like cooking healthy meals or walking every day." The most profound takeaway here? You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. The compound effect of habits. Habits are like investments. The effects are often invisible at first. Imagine trying to melt an ice cube. You heat it from 26 degrees Fahrenheit to 30 degrees Fahrenheit, but nothing happens. It's only when you reach 32 degrees Fahrenheit that the ice begins to melt. Similarly, small actions, whether good or bad, accumulate over time, and their impact only becomes visible later. This idea is empowering because it means even your smallest actions have meaning. A single workout won't make you fit, but it sets the stage for a healthier lifestyle. The identity-based approach to habits. Habits aren't just about changing your actions. They're about changing how you see yourself. Instead of focusing on results, shift your mindset to focus on your identity. Ask yourself, 1. Who do I want to become? 2. What would a person like that do every day? For example, instead of saying, "I want to run a marathon," think, "I want to become the type of person who runs every day." The habits you cultivate are votes for the person you want to become. The 4 laws of behavior change. To build good habits and break bad ones, James Clear introduces 4 key principles. Think of these as the levers you can pull to reprogram your brain and environment for success. Let's dive into each one. 1. Make it obvious. Your habits are largely shaped by your environment. If your environment is filled with triggers for bad habits, they'll win every time. Instead of relying on willpower, set yourself up for success by designing an environment where good habits are the default. Habit stacking. Pair a new habit with an existing one. For example, after I brush my teeth, I'll write down 3 things I'm grateful for. Environment design. Keep cues for good habits in plain sight. If you want to drink more water, keep a glass or bottle within reach at all times. If you want to stop scrolling on your phone, leave it in another room. Pro tip: write down your habit cues and reflect on how your environment is shaping your current habits. 2. Make it attractive. We're wired to seek pleasure. The more enjoyable a habit feels, the more likely we are to stick with it. The trick here is to make your good habits irresistible. Temptation bundling. Pair something you want to do with something you need to do. For instance, only allow yourself to watch your favorite show while working out. Social motivation. Surround yourself with people who embody the habits you want. If your friends value fitness, chances are you'll adopt similar behaviors. 3. Make it easy. The key to consistency is simplicity. If a habit feels too hard, your brain will resist it. To overcome this, lower the barrier to entry. 2-minute rule. Start with something so small it's almost laughable. Want to build a reading habit? Commit to reading just 1 sentence a day. Once you start, you'll often do more. Reduce friction. Make the actions required for your good habits as effortless as possible. Want to eat healthier? Prep your meals in advance. Example: if you want to write more, keep a notebook or open document ready at all times. The easier it is to start, the more likely you'll follow through. 4. Make it satisfying. We stick with habits that make us feel good. By introducing immediate rewards, you can trick your brain into loving the process. Track your progress. Use a habit tracker to check off each successful day. The visual satisfaction of seeing your streak grow is incredibly motivating. Celebrate small wins. Even tiny progress deserves recognition. Reward yourself when you reach milestones. Breaking bad habits. The same principles apply in reverse for breaking bad habits. 1. Make it invisible. Hide triggers for bad habits. 2. Make it unattractive. Reframe the behavior to highlight its negative impact. 3. Make it difficult. Add friction. For instance, delete apps or log out of social media. 4. Make it unsatisfying. Introduce accountability. Share your goals with someone who will call you out when you slip. The plateau of latent potential. One of the biggest challenges with building habits is staying consistent when results are invisible. This is where the concept of the plateau of latent potential comes in. James Clear reminds us that meaningful progress often happens below the surface. Success is a long game. Stay patient, trust the process, and keep showing up. Advanced strategies for mastery. Once you've mastered the basics, here are advanced tips to take your habits to the next level. 1. Focus on the process, not the outcome. Systems are better than goals. Instead of saying, "I want to lose 10 pounds, focus on becoming a person who eats well and exercises daily. 2. Embrace feedback loops. Reflect on what's working and refine your habits over time. 3. Find your triggers. Understand what derails your habits and plan around it. Conclusion. Your habits shape your life. The power of atomic habits lies in its simplicity. By making small intentional changes, you can build a system that works for you, not against you. Remember, it's not about massive overhauls but consistent, incremental improvements. Start small, build momentum, and let the compound effect transform your life. If you embrace these principles, you'll not only build better habits but also redefine the kind of person you are. And that's the ultimate win.